Hello everybody, my name is Tuomas, this is Sound of Free, and happy birthday, Jardine. Okay, so that rhymed, and it was unintentional, but seriously, it's September 3rd, 2024, and that means it's the 82nd birthday of Mr. Alan Jardine of the Beach Boys. Happy birthday. I do have other things as well to talk about, so it's not just a happy birthday wish, but anyway, I just wanted to get that out there. Al Jardine released a week ago, or a few days ago at least, a new single called Wish with Larry Dwoskin, and it's a really beautiful song. This is not really a review of that song, but I just thought that this would be a great chance to talk about that song as well a little bit. Well, I really like that composition, and the lyrics are very touching. Not a biggest fan of the production of that track. It does have some elements and some musical bits that somehow remind me of Right Where I Belong from the 85 album, and I think it would really fit, I would have fit on any Beach Boys album in the 80s or even in the late 70s, so it has that cool feeling. If you haven't heard that, go and check it out. It's called Wish, and you should be able to find it from any streaming platforms. But as I mentioned, not the biggest fan personally of the production style, especially when it comes to the vocals. Alan's vocals have been processed very strangely on that one, which makes it for me in a similar way unenjoyable as does a lot of the more recent Mike Love releases. I'm sorry to say that, but that's just how I experienced that track, though I really do dig the composition. That's it about that song. Go and check that out yourself. It's a cool song nonetheless. That song is meant to be a tease for an upcoming Al Jardine's solo album, so a follow-up for Postcard from California that was released, I believe, in 2011, right before the 50th anniversary Beach Boys album. And Al Jardine is not known for prolific solo output. He's very slow when it comes to his solo music, so it's kind of hard to believe that this is actually happening, but I am excited for it, and I do wish that it would happen. It is supposed to come out maybe even later this year already, but at least 2025, if not this year, but the release date is not out there yet. It is still a mystery to Al himself too. But I thought that it would be if you haven't read the Rolling Stone article, I'm gonna quote a few sections over here from it. It's by Andy Green, and it was released yesterday, so September 2nd. So anyway, the title is Al Jardine drops new song Wish, plots shows with resurrected Brian Wilson band. So there we go, there's the biggest headlining news. Al Jardine basically has been talking with Brian and his band that he would sort of resurrect or continue touring with his band in 2025, even with a full tour, and I'm super excited for that. It really makes me happy, and I think that's a great idea. But anyway, we'll talk about that more in a second, but I'll share with you a few quotes from this article. You just got to love Al Jardine these days, because he's kind of like what David Crosby was. He's kind of becoming a similar character, because he just says what comes to his mind, with brutal honesty, and it's kind of hilarious a lot of times, especially when he talks about Mike. So he said about Mike this: despite the legal crap and everything that went down over the years, we can still talk, he says. Well, he's a little hard of hearing now. I'm not quite sure if he hears anything I'm telling him, but we still have that common denominator between us. It works out. And he continues, Mike does the 60s really well. That can be a blessing and a curse, but apparently people are still coming to see him. People love to hear the same songs, and there's a new generation of fans. And Mike seems to enjoy that. That's the important part. But I found it tedious after a while. So now we have this opportunity to express some of the more esoteric things. A small list of esoteric that Jardine is thinking about adding into the show includes The Right Time from Brian Wilson's 2015 LP No Peer Pressure, and Roller Skating Child from Love You. How cool is that? I love both of those songs. Oh, I'm hyped up. I really hope that this happens. I think it's a phenomenal idea, and Brian seems to be up for it. And he says in this article that it might even be possible that Brian could maybe attend for the LA shows, possibly for a song or two. That I think that would be really nice, and I really wish that he would be able to pull this off and come to Europe, because there's a big demand in Europe for Beach Boys live stuff, because there hasn't really been any. Mike hasn't been here in a year or two at least. I'm not really sure when was the last European, like bigger European tour by the Mike Love group. I think it must be years already. I saw him in 2015, so that makes it almost 10 years now. So anyway, there's demand, and Brian Wilson Band is highly loved, especially in the UK. So I'm sure that he would be able to sell out theaters at least with that name. But that's like the biggest news that we have right now concerning Al Jardine and the sort of the continuation of the Brian Wilson Band and the Beach Boys saga. And that makes me really happy, because I think Al has sort of learned to embrace that sort of quirkiness of Brian's music as well, and he's found this sort of that key element of that artistry of the music, and I think it shows. And I really wish that he would, if not this, then just bring that smaller thing that he's doing with his own band in the States to the Europe, because I'd love to witness that. I've seen YouTube clips of his performances, but he never comes to Europe, so I've never seen any of those shows and had any chance of seeing those shows. But I just think that he truly appreciates us younger fans too, and knows that we actually want to hear songs like Roller Skating Child, or Love You Material, and also those deeper cuts. And he likes to serve for those kinds of fans as well, maybe a little bit more than what Mike is doing with his group. And well, I don't know, that's just sort of my cup of tea, and I'm excited for that, whatever is to come. And I'm very excited for Al's second solo album, because I really think that Postcard from California is an excellent album. And apparently he's recorded stuff with Neil Young again, and I think there was some other featuring artists too that he has recorded with recently, but I cannot now recall. But at least Neil Young he has mentioned that he has a song with that is upcoming on the next release, so I'm very excited for that. But anyway, that's really it. I don't have anything else really to say about this. I would love to know your thoughts. Are you hyped up about this news? And what do you think about Al's comments about Mike and his show? I think he's hilarious. You just gotta love him, and wish him a happy birthday, and see you soon, hopefully, on the next video. Take care. Bye bye.